Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into what is essentially the ultimate map for avoiding total disaster in product development. I mean, if you're involved in bringing complex products to life, you already know the journey from a basic concept to a final, shipped product is just completely fraught with risks. But what if there was a standardized, globally recognized blueprint that could practically guarantee success? Well, that's exactly what we're getting into today. Let's start with a total nightmare scenario. Just imagine you've spent months developing a new product. Your team has poured their hearts, their sweat, and honestly, way too many late-night coffees into this thing. You finally launch it to the market and then crickets. Or even worse, you realize it completely misses what the customer actually expected. The quality just isn't there. We've all felt that cold sweat of a project going completely off the rails, right? So, what is the true cost of that kind of failure? Well, it's not just wasted materials. We're talking lost time, massive financial drains, and a really severe hit to your brand's reputation. To solve this, our explainer today is broken down into 5 core parts: preventing product failures, understanding APQP, the 5 phases, the APQP checklist, and finally, AIG and industry standards.
Section 1. Preventing product failures.
So, the frustration, the high costs, the missed expectations, these are the harsh realities of a failed product launch. And this isn't just some abstract concept. Across highly regulated, super complex industries like automotive, aerospace, or medical device manufacturing, a failed launch can literally be catastrophic. If you are perfectly nailing down customer requirements from day one, you are building a product that is just destined to fail. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is that we need a concrete methodology to eliminate this risk entirely. Section 2. Understanding APQP. Okay, so what exactly is the solution here? It's APQP, which stands for Advanced Product Quality Planning. You can think of APQP as the ultimate project management superhero. It's a highly structured approach to product development that's designed specifically to focus on customer satisfaction, reducing costs, and above all, proactive quality improvement. You see, instead of just finding errors at the very end of the line when it's way too late, APQP is engineered for meticulous planning and error prevention from the very first step. And to get the job done, APQP relies heavily on cross-functional teams, or CFTs. Because let's face it, you just cannot develop a flawless product in a silo. APQP demands that professionals from engineering, manufacturing, quality, procurement, and distribution all sit down at the same table together. This ensures that every single possible perspective is covered, so you don't just meet, but totally exceed customer expectations. Section 3. The 5 phases. Now, how do these teams actually do their work? Well, APQP takes that often chaotic and overwhelming development process and organizes it into 5 highly structured, manageable phases: plan and define program, product design, process design, validation, and feedback and corrective action. Think of this as your fail-proof timeline. Skip a step, and you introduce risk. Follow the steps, and you engineer success. Let's break down exactly what happens in each of these critical stages. Phase 1 is all about brainstorming and planning with the customer's exact needs in focus. Coming out of this phase, you aren't just holding a stack of paperwork, you're holding team alignment. You get crucial outputs like a product development timing plan, your overarching design, reliability, and quality goals, a preliminary bill of materials, and a preliminary process flowchart so everyone can visualize the production journey right from the start. Moving right into Phase 2, product design, those early goals take a near final shape. This phase yields vital outputs like the finalized bill of materials, tool and equipment requirements, and the design failure mode and effects analysis, or DFMEA. The DFMEA helps identify exactly how a design might fail so you can fix it before it actually happens. But actually, scratch that. There's a quick caveat here. This phase only happens if your organization is actually responsible for the product design. If the customer hands you the completed design, you just skip this phase entirely. In Phase 3, process design, the focus shifts entirely away from the product itself and onto the factory floor. We need to make sure we can actually build this thing flawlessly at scale. The outputs here are heavily geared toward process control, like the process flow diagram, the process failure mode and effects analysis, or a PFMEA, a pre-launch control plan, and yes, even packaging standards. Because really, what good is a perfect product if it gets totally destroyed during shipping? Next up is Phase 4, validation. This is where the rubber finally meets the road. The customer actually validates the product and the manufacturing process during a significant production run. Outputs include the hard data from that run, measurement system analysis results, your finalized production control plan, and ultimately securing that all-important customer approval and validation. Finally, we reach Phase 5, feedback and corrective action. Now, crucially, this is the only phase that actually runs from the start to the finish of the entire program. It's a continuous loop of feedback. It evaluates how effective your planning is, deploying prompt countermeasures for any concerns that pop up. This phase keeps running until you've resolved all concerns for book supply, and it updates a lessons learned database, so your next big project starts off even stronger than this one.
Section 4. The APQP Checklist.
So what holds all this together? Imagine the chaos of launching without an APQP checklist. You're prone to errors, steps get skipped, and critical customer requirements are totally missed. But with the checklist, it becomes your daily vehicle for structured, timely development. It guarantees that quality requirements are met at every single checkpoint. It's basically your ultimate roadmap for getting things done right. But keep in mind, this checklist isn't just a static document you write once and toss in a drawer. It requires continuous improvement. You have to actively seek improvement opportunities, make small modifications over time, and regularly review and update the checklist. Doing this guarantees your processes always align with the absolute most current industry standards and those constantly shifting customer expectations.
Section 5. AIAG and Industry Standards.
Speaking of industry standards, who's actually writing the rulebook here? Well, the major player is the AIIG, the Automotive Industry Action Group. They are this incredible not-for-profit organization where OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, and suppliers have collaborated to drive down costs and complexity in the supply chain. For over 42 years, they've been providing the actionable manuals that define global best practices. The AIAG offers a massive library of standards, and they categorize really neatly into 3 main buckets. Under Quality Core Tools, you got APQP, FMEA, and Statistical Process Control. Under Supply Chain, they tackle logistics and materials management. And under Corporate Responsibility, they guide the industry on ESG, environmental sustainability, and chemical management. It is a completely holistic approach to manufacturing. And these standards are living documents. The newly updated APQP 3rd Edition manual is a perfect example of this. It reflects modern demands with a shift towards agile product management, brand new sections on sourcing, change management, APQP program metrics, and deeper risk assessment mitigation plans. They are constantly adapting to things like higher automation and electrification in the industry. Now, organizations don't just use APQP in a vacuum. They pair it with other key AIAG frameworks. For instance, the IATF 16949 standard defines the foundational quality management system aligned with ISO 9001. There's also the FMEA handbook, which is a harmonized approach between AIAG and the German VDA, and the SPC manual for statistical process control. Together, these ensure a flawless system from top to bottom. I mentioned these standards are constantly evolving, and we actually have major proof of that on the horizon. An updated, harmonized SPC manual is hitting the industry in July 2026. Staying current on these releases isn't just a good idea, it is an absolute must if you want to maintain compliance and keep your competitive edge sharp. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought regarding your own manufacturing journey. Are you building products by chance, just crossing your fingers and hoping the launch goes well? Or are you engineering guaranteed success through meticulous planning and continuous improvement? Because utilizing frameworks like APQP proves that continuous improvement is way more than just a buzzword. It is the true engine of success. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I highly encourage you to dig into these resources and transform your process today.